prepare to be haunted by the ominous history lurking behind the innocent facade of Goosey Gander. This chilling revelation uncovers the spine-tingling origins of a nursery rhyme that may just be the darkest of them all. Welcome back, Darklings. Before we dive into the shadows of Goosey Gander, let's first take a moment to revisit the most popular version of this nursery rhyme. Goosey Gander, whither shall I wander? Upstairs and downstairs, and in my lady's chamber. There I met an old man, who wouldn't say his prayers, so I took him by his left leg, and threw him down the stairs. Some versions also have the additional concluding lines. The stairs went crack, he nearly broke his back, and all the little ducks went quack, quack, quack. What if I were to tell you that beneath this rhyme lies the shadowy realm of a hunted priest, forcibly torn from his secret sanctuary and subjected to a nightmarish ordeal of imprisonment, torture, and a gruesome execution? In the curious rhyme of Goosey Gander, the phrase left leg conceals a hidden meaning, alluding to the term left footer, once attributed to Catholics. The character of the old man is often seen as representing a priest, while the grim implications of throwing him down the stairs and breaking his back point to the brutal punishments endured by priests during the reigns of King Henry VIII and his successors. The persecution of Roman Catholics began with King Henry VIII's pursuit of an annulment from his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, driven by his desire to marry Anne Boleyn. When the Pope denied his request, Henry established a separate English branch of Christianity, making himself its head and severing ties with Rome. This marked a profound departure from Roman Catholicism in England. The rhyme is believed to encapsulate the efforts of the Catholic gentry to safeguard their faith by protecting visiting clergy conducting mass at their country estates. During the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, a dark era descended upon the remaining Catholics. After a series of failed plots to assassinate her and replace her with her Catholic cousin, Mary Queen of Scots, Elizabeth implemented draconian laws against Catholics. Merely setting foot on English soil as a Catholic priest became an automatic act of high treason, punishable by death. Those who aided and sheltered these priests faced dire consequences, often forfeiting their property and, at times, their lives. Religious fanaticism and the allure of financial rewards served as the twin engines propelling priest hunters in their relentless pursuit of these fugitive men of the cloth. They orchestrated complex webs of paid informants, employing ruthless methods to extract crucial information from apprehended priests. These relentless pursuers, driven by an unwavering dedication to their cause, would descend unannounced upon the households of sympathetic gentry, their presence an ominous and unpredictable threat. In reaction, these families would go to great lengths to eliminate any traces of mass, concealing not just the vestments and altar furnishings, but most importantly, the priests themselves. It was during these dire times that the ingenious priest hole came into existence, a hiding place skillfully designed with concealed entrances. Inside these priest holes, the conditions were nothing short of a nightmare. No sanitation, limited access to food and water, stifling hot in summer, and bone-chilling cold in winter. Now, imagine a priest, his legs aching from hours cramped in the stifling confines of this tiny refuge, his heart racing in his chest, each beat a thunderous echo in the silence. Fear clutches him, paralyzing his every muscle, his breath held captive by the looming threat just beyond his hiding place. Meanwhile, the relentless symphony of the hunters reverberates throughout the house. Their footfalls draw nearer and nearer as they methodically scour every nook and shadowed corner, upstairs and downstairs, and even intruding into the sacred chamber of the lady of the house. The tension is palpable, the priest's fate hanging by the thinnest of threads as the relentless search continues, sometimes lasting days at a time. Many priest holes could only be accessed from outside, and in the dire event that the house's occupants faced arrest, it became a perilous refuge. Tragically, there are accounts of priests meeting their end within these concealed chambers, succumbing to starvation or suffocation from lack of air. One particularly haunting tale harks back to the 1940s, when a 16th century home underwent renovation. A hidden priest hole was found, with rumours suggesting the skeletal remains of a long-forgotten priest was discovered still inside. The phrase "wouldn't say his prayers" may symbolise the clergy's use of Latin rather than English in Catholic prayers, or the priest's steadfast refusal to take the oath of supremacy once discovered by the hunters. This oath, which acknowledged the monarch as the head of the church rather than the pope, carried the weight of high treason upon refusal. After being apprehended and captured, priests faced the harrowing ordeal of imprisonment and brutal torture, frequently subjected to agonizing torment on the rack, and ultimately culminating in their merciless execution by being hung, drawn, and quartered. However, all might not be as it seems. The earliest printed version of the rhyme, from 1784, precedes the most well-known rendition by a full decade and lacks the crucial concluding lines. Instead, it intriguingly speaks of a cup of sack and a race of ginger. During this 10-year span, it seems that Goosey Gander underwent a transformative fusion with two other rhymes. The first, Father Longlegs from 1780, seemingly holding religious undertones, but centred around school children's cruel tradition of capturing crane flies and heartlessly pulling the legs off, whilst reciting the lines, "Old Father Longlegs can't say his prayers, take him by the left leg and throw him downstairs." The second contribution comes from The Parson in the Pulpit, depicting a parson's clumsiness during prayer. The parson in the pulpit couldn't say his prayers, he gabbled and he gabbled, till he tumbled downstairs. The stairs gave a crack, and he broke his old back, and all the congregation gave a quack, quack, quack. This intricate amalgamation doesn't completely dismiss the potential connection to the persecution of Catholic priests, but it suggests that Goosey Gander became intertwined with other rhymes, creating a tapestry of verses with deeper layers of meaning. But don't be fooled into thinking the origins of Goosey Gander is innocent. Far from it, for shockingly, it contains numerous dark and sexual undertones. Unearthing the origins of nursery rhymes can be a challenging pursuit. These rhymes have deep roots in oral tradition, predating widespread literacy. Many ancient texts have vanished over time, so finding a rhyme in an 18th century publication doesn't confirm its origin in that era. Yet Goosey Gander offers a rare clue for more precise dating. Within the mysterious verses of this rhyme, sack refers to fortified wine from Spain and the Canary Islands, while a race of ginger simply means a slice of ginger root. Sack enjoyed its peak popularity during the 16th and 17th centuries. Even Shakespeare was a fan, and extolled its virtues through the dialogues of his iconic characters. However, by the 18th century, winemaking innovations had transformed it, and it had shed the name sack along the way. This suggests that although Goosey Gander was first printed in 1784, its roots likely extend back to the 16th or 17th centuries. Starting from here, we can explore the slang terms and phrases from the 16th and 17th centuries to unravel the intrigue of this rhyme. What emerges is a captivating tapestry of sexual innuendos centred around the concept of geese. In the 1500s, goose was a euphemism for philandering or womanizing, while gander, originally referring to a male goose, signified single men or male-only gatherings. It's akin to our modern stag or stag party, suggesting spirited young men seeking a good time. The mention of ginger adds another layer of allure. For centuries, ginger has been considered an aphrodisiac, intensifying the rhyme's sensuality, and the reference to sack, a type of wine, implies alcohol-fueled merriment. The phrase upstairs and downstairs alludes to amorous escapades in multiple bedrooms, hinting at the possibility of these men engaging in promiscuous affairs. This rhyme preserves these suggestive undertones within the context of "in my lady's chamber." It conjures an image of a provocative song, perhaps printed in a 16th century pamphlet, a small, unbound, disposable book intended for the amusement of gentlemen. But there is an even darker side to Goosey Gander. In this historical era, a young man walking into certain areas carrying a jingle of coins in his pocket would find himself besieged by prostitutes from all directions, regardless of the hour. Their rowdy competition for clients, often bearing their pale chests, earned them the moniker geese. Today, nestled in the back streets of South London, not far from Shakespeare's Globe Theatre, lies the Crossbones Graveyard. This graveyard serves as the final resting place for the Winchester geese, prostitutes licensed by the Bishop of Winchester to work in the brothels of the Liberty of the Clink. It has transformed into a garden of remembrance, featuring a poignant plaque dedicated to the Outcast Dead, denied the church's last rites and interred in this unconsecrated ground. The phrase "bitten by a goose," frequently referenced to in accounts from the 1500s, takes on a more sinister connotation. It serves as a euphemism for the visible symptoms of sexually transmitted infections, shedding light on the dark and perilous underbelly of society during that time. When we examine the rhyme through this lens, a more disturbing narrative emerges. It suggests a man consorting with prostitutes, possibly contracting a disease, and then unwittingly carrying it home to his wife, the lady of the chamber. Ginger with sack wine was often considered a cure-all for various ailments, with historical accounts even mentioning doctors drinking sack wine, believing it could protect them from contracting illnesses while treating patients. Another theory suggests that goose might refer to a foolish or silly person, while gander was recorded as slang meaning to wander foolishly as early as 1680. The inclusion of alcohol in the rhyme might suggest it is simply a light-hearted song about someone intoxicated, weaving a playful tale of drunken escapades. But what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if your fascination for dark nursery rhyme origins still lingers, don't forget to explore the rest of my channel. See you in a future video.